first cup of coffee. So you're going to see me drink it a lot. Pumpkin spice today with marshmallow foam on top. Yep, because that's how I roll. Pumpkin marshmallow. All right, guys, ready for another archetype? This is a badass archetype and one that I promised to talk about, and that is the archetype of the destroyer, okay? Now, I will say for this archetype, there are people who have destroyer archetype all through their life, and that is less common than people who invoke the destroyer archetype when it is most needed. So let's talk about the light of this. Okay, the destroyer archetype, when you are someone who has it as one of your main archetypes and you have it over your lifetime and not just temporarily when the situation calls for it, they are known as catalysts. If you are a destroyer archetype, you will have spent your entire life being a catalyst, whether you meant to be or not. This girl right here, both Gideon and I have this in our major arcana. And it is something I heavily and deeply resisted for a very long time. I cannot even begin to tell you how many things I have destroyed. So, clients will come to me for sessions, and next thing you know, they're getting divorced, they're leaving their careers, they are basically burning their lives to the ground. The destroyer, the catalyst, when they're in the light, basically they destroy what needs to be destroyed. And they do it with foresight and deliberately and consciously and mindfully. So also in the light, the destroyer archetype will destroy the old to make room and space for the new. And this is why it really can be like a temporary, where you invoke it temporarily, like you really, really, really need to get out of that shitty marriage or, right? Remember yesterday's videos, those self-betrayals, and you really need that. You bring in this energy. I always think of a dragon. To me, this is very dragon energy, and you burn down what needs to be burned down in that moment to make room for something much more true and sustainable and amazing. So the destroyer in the light will do this in a very conscious way. The destroyer also in the light, these are a lot of the people that will come in and lead movements. All right, Martin Luther King Jr. Lead movements of, okay, we cannot have that anymore. We must destroy that old way of life, that old way of being, so that we can build something beautiful and amazing in its place. It is a difficult archetype if you have it, like really have it as one of your main archetypes, because before you understand it and before you know what it is, it will feel random, or it will feel like a burden to you to have this. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't even mean to do anything. And next thing you know, all of these cause and effects are now rippling out from one conversation. And I didn't mean to. So it's very important, if you are a catalyst and you know this because you've seen it and because people have referred to you as this your whole life, to fully own this archetype so that you can step into the light with it. Because it is by fully owning it and acknowledging that you have it, that you really begin to get in the light with it deliberately. And so the shadow of the destroyer is just destruction, either because it's unconscious. I think a lot of the shadow of the destroyer is actually unconscious. They just okay, well, if it's going to burn, let's let it burn. And they don't take maybe the care or the compassion with it that would help it be much less messy, much less chaotic, and much less dramatic. Okay? So the deeper shadow of the destroyer is the one who loves to destroy for the sake of destruction. So you can think about Attila the Hun, right? Probably one of our most famous destroyers. Hitler. Okay? A lot of the dictators, a lot of the very corrupt leaders and politicians of our day and of days in the past. All right, again, you can kind of see, though, both Donald Trump and Tony Robbins have the destroyer archetype, whether they're aware of it or not. You can see the different ways that it plays out for good and for bad, in light and in shadow. So the main thing with this, if you think this is you, is to be deliberate about it and use your foresight to feel into being responsible and mindful in the destruction. And making sure that if you go into that destroyer, that you are also then able to come into the creator. Because the creator and destroyer archetype are one and the same. Okay? They are the two sides of this archetype. And if you know somebody who is a destroyer, you yourself are going to want to be able to feel into and acknowledge, are they in the shadow with it or are they in the light with it? And make sure that you are not following a destroyer in the shadow, because the destroyer in the shadow can sometimes destroy things that are beautiful and precious that you do not want to have destroyed. So this is, I'm telling you guys, this is like a hardcore one. But notice when you are bringing it to your life, even if it is temporary, that you are following the light of it and not getting into destruction for the sake of destruction, chaos, drama. Ask yourself some questions. How can I destroy what needs to be destroyed while not destroying things that are life-affirming and beautiful? So be mindful, be conscious, be prayerful, meditative, really tapping into the vibration of what needs to be destroyed and what actually needs to be given new life. This is good stuff to know, especially if any of you are going through a time of destruction right now. Make sure that even if you're destroying, you're only destroying what needs to be destroyed, and you're doing it out of love. So really, love and foresight are the medicine for the shadow of this. All right, guys, I hope this helps. May your coffee be strong and your life be blessed. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And if you would be interested in working with me further, you can check out DawniAngel.com. I would love to come speak to your group, come to your business to do a training, be on your podcast, my personal favorite, or even work with you one-on-one.